You know what? Sometimes it's extremely difficult to defend the indefensible, and unfortunately, I cannot defend this particular matter. And let's make this clear for the record. People know that I'm a Deontay Wilder fan, and I support him, despite all the shenanigans and the bullshit that he pulls. But at the same time, I can't support the crap that he pulls because from being impartial that I am, I have to call out and I have to criticize him. So unfortunately, these are one of the situations over and over again as history repeats itself, because recently he gives an interview with Fight Hype, and he was asked about the upcoming Robert Helenius fight, and I think he was also asked about the recent pay-per-view fight that went down in Crypto.com arena between Andrew Ruiz and Luis Ortiz, about his thoughts about, his after-fight thoughts, whatnot. And then he was asked about Tyson Fury, and the interviewer asked him, have you patched up things with him, and do you respect him? He respect him within those lines, I believe. It's not exactly word for word that the interviewer asked him that particular question. Deontay, paraphrasing what he said, he responded by saying, you know what, I have no respect for him at all. No respect, all right? I don't really have respect for anybody who cheated me out in the victory. Not once, the second fight, I think that's what he's alluding to, all right? I'm not sure if he's alluding to the third fight, but I think it's more alluding to the second fight. So he also went on and said that, I lost my train of thought there. He went on to follow up with that and said, well, I have people who harass me over this whole crap about, well, if he cheated, then why didn't you take a criminal, why didn't you take a legal action or criminal proceeding towards him if you felt you were hard done to, especially if you felt that he had some object in his gloves, yada, yada, yada. And then Deontay responded, pretty much being a distant pastor, as he wants to portray himself to be, as I call him. He responded by saying that, you know what, if anybody tells me that, if I meet them face to face, I'll grab them by the collar and I will tell them that why the hell would I want to put somebody in jail, given the fact that I have a chance to avenge what he did to me, even means killing him, and I get paid $1 million doing it. It does sound kind of funny and very disturbing when he says that, but at the same time, Deontay, you had your chance and you got brutally knocked out, and you took a lot of punishment in that third fight. So yeah, you did have your opportunity, but you failed. Now, he did mention that he welcomed the fourth Fury fight, and he's hell bent to get that fight. Now, here's my thoughts on those comments, all right? Now, first things first, it pisses me off that he won't let this shit go with, excuse my language, with Tyson Fury. Yes, I don't like Tyson Fury, but we all have to call a spade for what it is. He won those fights fair and square. There is nothing that suggests that he have cheated in those fights. There's nothing suggested that, even though those gloves looked weird, I will admit to that. But there's no sound evidence proving that he cheated in the second Wilder fight. I know some people want to refer to the first Wilder fight, but we're more talking about the second fight. So we have to leave it at that, and we're going to have to let it go. Now, unfortunately for Tyson Fury, he has a checkered past. And that checkered past is that he has been caught with glove manipulation in two fights, the John McDermott rematch and the Christy Hammer fight. He has got caught with PEDs, which, by the way, was covered up before he got into the Klitschko fight. Yes, he failed another drug test by, for using cocaine leading up to the rematch. So he has a checkered past, and I forgot to mention that he paid off a bribe to get him off that UCAD drug scandal. So, yeah, so those things right there will stay with Fury for a long while, given the fact that some of the, I hate to say it, the diehard Wilder fans won't let this shit go because of those type of situations that Fury always gets himself involved in, which is his own doing. So, but at the same time, you have to call a spade. There's no evidence that he cheated against Wilder. We gotta let it go. Now, if Wilder wanted to get his get back, he has a chance. He's got to get through the Helenius and the Ruiz fights, and we'll see how things go from there. If you ask me, he loses that fourth fight. That's just my opinion, but anything can happen. But sometimes history has shown that sometimes if a fighter realizes that this opposition has their number. Sometimes it takes that fourth fight or even that third fight or even the fifth fight to get that one win. One Mario Marquez against Manny Pacquiao. He got that fourth fight. He finally got that win after 3 tries. Ezra Charles versus Jersey Joe Walcott. Jersey Joe Walcott could not beat Ezra Charles in 2 fights until he finally got him and knocked him out in the 3rd fight, and then he won the 4th fight right after that. So these things can happen, but I'm not saying this is going to happen for Deontay, but I would be surprised. But anyhow, I cannot defend these remarks because they're implorable, inexcusable, and let's be honest, it's bullshit. I just wish he'd let it go, for Jesus Christ, man. But sometimes I think he does it on purpose to draw attention. That's just my opinion. I don't know why he keeps doing this, but hey, it's working, and he keeps getting this reaction, and I just wish he'd just taken more a measured approach, man. I mean, seriously, it's frustrating that I gotta keep doing videos like this, and some people come in and attack me. It's like, you're not a real Wilder fan. You know, what he says is gospel. What he says is absolute. I'm like, well, no. I mean, if I'm a real fan, I'm gonna call him out for what it is. If it's bullshit, it's bullshit. Tough love. And that's how I wish that Tyson Fury and AJ fanboys would do the same, but no, they won't do it. They won't do that. I mean, obviously they can say, well, you know, AJ doesn't say, you know, crazy bullshit, which is true, with the exception of the meltdown he had after that Usyk loss, that rematch. As far as Tyson Fury is concerned, yeah, he seems like he gets to get away with every single thing. And by the way, speaking of PEDs, I don't know why anybody didn't even call him out on the fact that he accused Usyk of being a steroid cheat when he himself got caught using PEDs. So I mean, it's just sad that people seem to forget about that. And yeah, another thing about him too is that he seems like he's always under the influence when he's doing interviews, man. I mean, seriously. I think he's getting coked up before he starts talking to people. I don't know if it's those lingering effects that he suffered from the 3rd Wilder fight, the brain damage his symptoms are coming in. I don't know, but somebody needs to check, you know, to keep an eye on him before he perhaps overdose. Don't get mad at me, Fury fans, for saying that, but I'm just a food for thought. But anyways, man, I'm not happy about this. I'm very pissed about these comments, but it is what it is. Hopefully, I wish he just let it go. And I think if I'm Shelly Finkel management, I'll advise Deontay to stop talking about Tyson Fury. Let it go until you work your way up to getting into the mandatory position to fight him again. Then maybe you can talk about some of the issues that you have with him. But I just think he should really let this go about the 2nd or maybe the 3rd fight, if that's what he's alluding to. But other than that, let me know what your thoughts about this. I'm out. Peace.